Hi, welcome to week 9. This is Cheryl Gordon and we're doing some hip and knee rehab together. Today's props that might be helpful: having a chair and also a strap tie. I have a TheraBand I'm using today, but something like that. And I'm outside in the yoga garden just to demonstrate that you can do your rehab anywhere. You don't need special equipment, and it just takes a few minutes, maybe practiced a few times a day, to really start to see some real gains. Today we're going to be focusing on working on these muscles. So excuse my behind, but I'm talking about your butt. I'm talking about your gluteus muscles. These are really important, powerful muscles, major mover muscles that do get a little slack. We do sit an inordinate amount in our culture. We sit to go to school, we sit for transportation, we sit to be entertained, we sit for work. So this is a culture-wide problem for us. We're going to do a little bit to correct that today. So I'm going to be starting with my TheraBand or my strap. And I'm going to take it around my thighs. I want to feel the meatiest part of my thighs where a lot of the muscle is. So if you have a yoga strap, you can use it and use the buckle for this. You can just tie an old housecoat belt around your thighs. You want some fairly firm, not cut off the blood circulation, but fairly firm feedback from around your thighs. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this movement a little bit better, but you're fine the way you are. Notice I have this old lawn chair. You don't need anything fancy to practice this. I'm going to sit down in the chair, but just to the edge of the chair. I'm going to bring the feet a little bit closer in. Last week, and I do hope you're doing these videos in order because we are progressively building skill. Last week we talked about functional movement, how to get up off the chair. I'm going to take that into a little bit more challenging realm this week. We're going to lift up our buttocks just a little bit up off the chair, an inch or two. And trust me, this is extremely humbling. So expect it to be kind of hard. You may have to use your arms to support you at first, but eventually maybe you can progress to not having to use your arms. I'm going to take my hands to my hips so that you can see a little bit more carefully exactly what's happening here. So I have my feet in a parallel fashion on the ground. My knees are facing straight ahead, so my legs are like two parallel lines, those railroad tracks again. And the strap is giving me a little bit of construction. It's a little bit of firmness on the outer thighs, so I think about that. As I come up, I'm going to inhale, push into my heels and lift up just an inch up off of the chair, and then exhale, relax back down. Now we want to try to make sure we're really pushing into our feet to make that happen, that we're not leaning too far forward and throwing ourselves up off the chair, that we're keeping our body fairly upright, and that we're feeling a little bit of feedback from the strap on the outer thighs. That's called abduction. You might remember from previous videos, and it strengthens our hip muscles, our gluteus muscles to be specific. So when you're ready, inhale, little rise, exhale, lower. It does get easier, I promise. Let's try that a couple more times, trying to control the lift and the descent. Inhale and exhale. This is our last one, I promise. Inhale and exhale. Excellent work. We can take off the strap from around. Good. And let's come up. Remember, we practiced standing up without using our arms in the last video. Now you may want to have a chair beside you. I could turn this chair around so the back of the chair was right there. That really helps a little bit with balance, so you don't have to think too much about balance. The next movement is again to strengthen these outer gluteus muscles. There's the big gluteus muscle, the gluteus maximus, which we'll be talking about in a minute, but this particular muscle is under the gluteus maximus. It has a little bit different orientation. It's called the gluteus medius. And it's typically a little weak in some of us. So here's the movement. Again, I'm going to stand to the side briefly just so that you can see this, but you're fine just where you are. From mountain pose, we're going to lift up the ankle so that our knees are level with each other. Notice my knee isn't out like this. My knee is level with each other, but my lower leg is parallel to the floor, or as close as you can get to this. You can, if you need to, put a strap around your ankle like that in order to hold up your leg if your leg is just not quite strong enough yet. I'm going to show this without the strap or TheraBand. Just you can progress to that, and it's a little bit desirable because you can keep a little bit more neutral alignment in the upper body. So this is the starting position. If you need to be close to a wall or have the back of the chair beside you so you don't have to think about balance, that's good. This is the starting position. I recommend flexing your ankle as well. Now from here, super simple, we're going to inhale, take the knee out to the side, and exhale, lower. Super simple, but not easy. Good. And one more time. Now I know you could lift the leg really high if you bent right over, but we don't want to disturb the upper body. We want to make this a hip movement. I find that particularly challenging. I have an old injury in that hip and you can really see it. Let's try the other side. So the knee lifts up, level with the other knee, ankle is flexed. Your lifted knee is at a 90-degree angle. Keeping your hips level to the ground, Inhale, lift up, and exhale, lower. It's not a really big movement. Another one of these really humbling movements that we have in our rehab. Inhale and exhale. So you probably feel those outer hip, those outer thigh muscles really kind of talking to you. Let's do another movement to strengthen those gluteus muscles. I'm going to turn the chair around so the back of the chair is facing me. When you're going to lift something heavy, I don't want to start moving it like this because I'm twisting and lifting, and it put my back in a very vulnerable position. To turn the chair around, I want to have the heavy object directly in front of my body, bend my knees, lift the object up, and then turn around with the object still in front of me, bend my knees, set it down. Now the chair is in place. So it took an extra nanosecond to get the chair in place, but I protected my back. So this is where I would like to be oriented. Bringing the front of your hips to the chair back, and you can hang on to the chair so the balance doesn't really interfere with your thinking. And I want to try to keep, as best as I can, the front of my body straight up and down, aligned to the chair. So this is going to prevent me from throwing my body forward because the chair back is there. You can also do this against a wall, but sometimes for us women, we can't get close enough to the wall because we've got tissue there. When you're ready, inhale, lift one leg straight back, and then exhale, stand again. Let's try that again. Inhale, straight back, exhale, stand. Inhale, straight back, exhale, stand. No, you can sit down to rest between sides. I just want to show you something I see all the time, and I'm going to turn with my back to the camera so you can see a bit better. I see people doing this. Can you see the difference with that? They're getting their leg really far back, but they've also twisted their body and they've turned their leg into external rotation. We want to go straight back. So with my back to the camera, it looks like this. Straight back. See how my legs are still parallel to each other? Both of my knees are still facing forward. They're not facing out to the side. And I'm really feeling the contraction right here. There's your gluteus maximus that we were talking about. Let's do the other leg when you're ready. Remember, you can pause the video and take more rest anytime. No one's ever going to judge you for that. Inhale, legs straight back. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, straight back. And you want to execute this movement so there's no pain, but you probably will feel some muscle fatigue because there's a lot going on with the gluteus muscles there. Great work today. Repeat this video as often as you can today and every day for the next week, and I'll be back with another video next week. Thanks, guys.